A Florida man is arrested after throwing meat at a police officer. A Florida man shot another Florida man over a game of checkers. A Florida teacher is under investigation for showing a Disney movie. And one Florida man is setting the record for living underwater. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News, and they are all from the state of Florida, because on Friday on Weird AF News, we only do weird news from Florida. That's right, my friends. It's Florida Fridays on Weird AF News. Let's get to it. A Florida man was arrested after throwing meat at a Florida police officer. The story's from Tampa. A Florida man arrested after he threw some lunch meat at a police officer. Oh, I hope the police officer's okay. It can get hurt depending on the size of the meat that you get hit with. It might even have a bone in it, although it does say luncheon meat, so well, perhaps he went ham on this officer. Ham! How about it? Let's find out what the meat was. I'm so curious. Police say they were called to a smoke shop. Strange. Buying meat at a smoke shop? Oh, maybe they were smoking meat. It's not your typical Florida smoke shop. When you think of a Florida smoke shop, you think a crack shop, right? Basically a crack shop or a place you can get crack pipes, because crack is the official rock of Florida. Perhaps this was a meat smoking shop, a barbecue joint. Let's keep reading. Let's keep learning. We want to know what Florida men are doing these days. We need to keep up to speed with what the Florida men are doing and what they're using for as weapons, because they'll use anything as a weapon. Police were called to the smoke shop Tuesday. A worker reported a man disrupting their business, threatening the workers. As the officer arrives, a video shows him speaking with a worker who said she wanted this man, who was later identified as Florida man William Bussey, trespassed from the store. She wanted him trespassed from the store. I believe that's a fancy word for ejected from the store, bounced from the store. I've never heard of somebody being trespassed from a place. Are you a bouncer? No, I'm technically a trespasser. After the officer left the building, William Bussey, the Florida man, approached him. In the video, the Florida man asked the police officer a question about suing the sheriff's office. The officer told the Florida man he didn't know anything about that and said he was there because the smoke shop said that he was bothering some of the customers. The officer then explains to the Florida man that he has been trespassed from the store, also known as bounced from the store. After the Florida man learned that he was trespassed, they keep using this word trespassed. I just find it hilarious. The video shows the Florida man starting to become violent with the police officer, doesn't want to be called a trespasser. Doesn't want to be trespassed. Here's a quote from Florida man. Come on, beep! You think I can't do it? Beep! I got a beep black belt in beep karate and a black belt in beep judo. You're going to be in a world of hurt. That's what he tells the officer. A lot of beeps in there. Moments later, the Florida man is seen throwing something at the officer. The police department said that the officer was hit in the chest with a piece of lunch meat. He was arrested and charged with battery. Oh, this Florida man's the worst. I mean... Right? What's his excuse, huh? Whatever it is, it's a bunch of baloney. But he's going to have to get himself a good lawyer because the stakes are high. And then when they see each other in court, the Florida man will say to the officer, "So we meet again." All right, forgive me for the bad puns. A Florida man shot another Florida man over a game of checkers. Old people take checkers very seriously. I'm not surprised there was a shooting in Florida over such a game. A Gainesville, Florida man is in jail after shooting someone in the neck, over a game of checkers. I assume the man didn't live, but let's keep reading and find out. Shot in the neck over checkers. King me. No, I ain't gonna king you. Come on, man, king me. No, man, I'm not gonna king you. You king me right now, I'm gonna shoot you in the neck. Blam, blam, blam in the neck. According to Florida police officers, Henry Pope, 63 years old, takes checkers seriously. Henry was arguing with a neighbor at the Sunshine Inn. Sounds like a lovely place to play checkers with your gun. Mr. Pope, the Florida man, allegedly shot the victim, then fled the scene. He hid the gun in a fanny pack and was found hours later hiding in a bush. Can you imagine what you might find in Florida fanny packs? I can't even. There's going to be pipes in there. There's going to be crazy recreational substances such as bath salts, guns galore, I'm sure. Little baggies of drugs. They always have baggies of drugs. What else could be in a Florida man's fanny pack? Severed fingers. I mean, you can't put it past anything being inside a Florida man's fanny pack. Very small, dead iguanas. The victim was rushed into surgery to the local hospital, and this guy, Florida man Pope, is being held in the jail on charges of attempted murder for shooting a man over checkers. The problem is the rules of checkers are so damn complicated. I mean, different interpretations can, of course, lead to arguments, which then can, of course, lead to shootings, especially if there's Florida men involved in the situation. I recommend all Florida men stick with rock, paper, scissors. It's a very simple game. Any dummy can follow the rules with that one. Checkers is very complicated for a Florida man. A Florida teacher is under investigation for showing the students a Disney movie. A Florida teacher is under a state investigation for presenting a Disney movie that features a gay character. The teacher said she wasn't aware of Florida's controversial law banning instructions under certain LGBTQ topics, and that it had recently expanded to apply to her grade school level. This legislation was first passed in March of 2022, and initially it applied to kindergarten through third grade. I guess you weren't allowed to instruct the children about certain LGBTQ topics up until through third grade. But last month, Florida's State Education Board voted to expand the law's scope to include all grades through high school. Teachers who violate the state policy can be suspended or have their teaching licenses revoked if they happen to show some sort of instructions about certain LGBTQ topics in the classroom. Apparently, this Disney movie falls under the LGBTQ instructional topics because there's a gay character. I've never seen this film. It's called Strange World. Have you guys seen it? From what I've read about it, it's a lovely family Disney film. Here's a quote from the teacher, Jenna. She said, "I just found out today that they increased it to my school level. I had no idea whatsoever that this was such a big deal." Jenna says she played the 2022 animated Disney movie Strange World to her classroom of fifth graders while their peers were finishing some standardized testing. The Disney film tells the story of a family of explorers, and it features a gay character. It's pretty common now. Gay characters being portrayed in films and streaming services, television, podcasts, print ads, commercials, everywhere, you name it. If you live in 2023, you see gay characters all over your world, usually. But some people are very uncomfortable with it, and they want to push it out of their world. I mean, good luck trying to push it out of your world. That's not going to happen, even with these stupid laws. Jenna says the students' parents had previously signed permission slips allowing their children to watch PG-rated movies. One parent complained and reported the teacher to the State Department of Education after this particular movie, Strange World, was shown. The parent who reported her is also a member of the county school district board and complained to the principal that the movie is not appropriate for students. The parent's name is Shannon. She said that Jenna, the teacher, should have gotten the specific movie approved by school administration and said the teacher is, quote, playing the victim at this point. She said, quote, "It is not a teacher's job to impose their beliefs upon a child, religious, sexual orientation, gender identity, any of the above, but allowing movies such as this assists teachers in opening a door. And please hear me, they assist teachers in opening a door for conversations that have no place in our classrooms." No, sure does not. Floridians feel way more comfortable around guns than they do animation, it seems. How sad. Can't talk about gay in the classroom. Instead, today, class, we're going to learn how to apply first aid to a fellow student that's been shot in the foot. Because we can't do anything about the guns. What do they think's going to happen showing a gay animation movie to kids? Oh, I saw a report saying all the children who watched that movie are now gay. Oh, that's what happens. That's what happens. It turns them gay. I saw a screenshot of that gay character, and I cannot stop kissing dudes, man. I've been kissing dudes all afternoon since I did this segment. I think I'm having a lifestyle change now because of Disney. No wonder why Ronnie D is so angry at Disney. By the way, Ronnie D stands for dummy, in case you're wondering. Here's a quote from the teacher. She says, "These students are talking about things way beyond this movie and the things in the movie. This door that this woman's talking about, it's already been opened. There are common conversations that I have to tell my students, whoa there, we're getting a little too much here." Yeah, because kids are not oblivious to what's going on in the world. They all have smartphones now. I mean, how are you going to keep them blind to changes in the culture and updates when they have a smartphone in their hands? Especially kids that are almost in high school. Are you out of your mind, Florida? She says, all my students are asking, what is that that's so wrong? Why is it inappropriate? Why are you in so much trouble because of this little part of the movie? And I just keep having to say, no, go ask your parents about it. Yeah, the students probably think this is ridiculous. Hey, I have a great idea. This is revolutionary, but how about you ask the students what they're comfortable with before you make decisions for them? Obviously, students in like kindergarten shouldn't be asked what they're comfortable around, but when you get up towards 5th grade, at that point, I think you can ask them. We have a quote here from an elected board member who says, as a leader in this community, I'm not going to stand by this and allow this minority to infiltrate our schools. God did put me here. Oh, what God put you here? Poseidon? I'd love to know. By the way, if God put you there, God also put gay people here then as well. School official, unless you're saying God makes mistakes. And I know you don't want to admit that. A Florida man sets the record for living underwater because he loves to be under the sea. Key Largo, Florida, or as we say in Boston, Key Largo, Florida. A university professor broke a record for the longest time living underwater without depressurization this weekend at a Florida Keys lodge for scuba divers. Joseph Dituri's 74th day residing in Jules's undersea lodge, situated at the bottom of a 30-foot deep lagoon in Key Largo, wasn't much different than his previous days since he submerged himself March 1st. Dituri, who also goes by the nickname Dr. Deep Sea, that's what the ladies call him, Dr. Deep Sea, ate a protein-heavy meal of eggs and salmon, prepared using a microwave, exercised with resistance bands, did his daily push-ups, and took an hour-long nap. Unlike a submarine, the undersea lodge does not use technology to adjust for the increased underwater pressure. So he's underwater in a little lodge, a.k.a. a hut of some sort. It says here, the previous record of 73 days, 2 hours, and 34 minutes underwater was set by 2 Tennessee professors, Bruce Cantrell and Jessica Fain, at this same location in 2014. But Dituri, the Florida man, isn't just settling for the record and resurfacing. He plans to stay at the lodge all the way until June 9th, when he reaches exactly 100 days and completes an underwater mission dubbed Project Neptune 100. The mission combines medical and ocean research along with educational outreach and was organized by the Marine Resources Development Foundation. Here's a quote from Dituri. The record is a small bump, and I really appreciate that. I'm honored to have the record, but we still have more science to do down here, and I'm going to stay down here. Dituri's research includes daily experiments in physiology to monitor how the human body responds to long-term exposure to extreme pressures. The idea here is to populate the world's oceans, to take care of them by living in them and really treating them well. This outreach portion of Dituri's mission, including conducting online classes and broadcast interviews from his digital studio beneath the sea. During the past 74 days, he's reached over 2,500 students through online classes in marine science and more with his regular biomedical engineering courses at the University of South Florida. While Dituri says he loves living under the ocean, there is one thing he really misses. Well, the thing that I really miss the most about being on the surface is literally the sun. The sun has been a major factor in my life. I usually go to the gym at 5 and then I come back out and I watch the sunrise. That's been my routine for a number of years, but down here I can't really see the sun. Oh, I just love this. Florida man professor breaking records, doing science, accomplishing goals with his life, inspiring other Floridians to do the same. You got to get Floridians off of meth first, though, before you can get them under the sea. The only time a Florida man ends up in the sea is when he or she drunk drives off the dock, and then they're underwater for a number of minutes while they try to get out of their vehicle. It wasn't a DUI, officer. I was doing experiments under the water. Yeah, that's it. Under the sea. Hello, my friends, and thank you for joining me for this episode of Weird AF News, the Florida Friday edition. I want to thank everyone who sent me Florida articles the last couple days. Very helpful. I appreciate that. You can always send me stuff to funnyjones@gmail.com. You can call the show if you'd like to express yourself. 646-450-2012. Please lay off the F-bombs. Appreciate that. If you don't know what an F-bomb is, Google that. Google that effing thing. Stupid. Hope you're having a good weekend anyways, or that you had one, or that you're about to have one. It's very important to have weekends in life, enjoyable weekends, away from our usually midweek responsibilities. And then the weather's getting good in Southern California, so I'll be going to a barbecue this weekend. Got a couple shows, going to watch some sports, going to play some softball. Looking forward to all those things that make my life go round on the weekends. So, and now I'm just sharing too much probably. You don't give a damn. If you want to support the show, though, maybe you support me. I don't know. If you could tell a friend about Weird AF News, that's very supportive. Appreciate that. Yeah, just tell everybody. Tell everybody you see. Say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet, and tell them about Weird AF News. Now, if you want to support the show because you're rich, that's another thing that you can do. Support the show with your wealth by going to weirdafnews.com and buying me coffee or joining the Patreon. That's a way to do it. Pretty cool. And yeah, I guess that's about it. I appreciate your time as always. Thanks for showing me your loyal listenership on an ongoing basis. Without you, where the hell would we be? I wouldn't even have this show. Thank you.